This is the water conservation tip of the month. Help us manage groundwater by signing up for our Well Watch program. Texas is vast, and so are its approaches to managing groundwater. In some counties, residents have chosen not to create any management bodies, leaving their groundwater unregulated and vulnerable. This means that in these regions, there are no safeguards to protect this vital resource. But other counties, like Bastrop and Lee, have taken a proactive approach by establishing groundwater conservation districts, or GCDs, to ensure their groundwater is managed responsibly. These districts work directly with local communities to protect and conserve their water resources. Even within GCDs, management styles can vary widely. Some GCDs enforce little to no permit requirements, risking overcrowding of wells and overuse of groundwater. Other GCDs adopt a more conservative approach, with stringent permit requirements and strict spacing guidelines to prevent unnecessary groundwater depletion. And then there's us, Lost Pines Groundwater Conservation District. We like to think we've struck the perfect balance. We manage sustainably. One of the ways Lost Pines GCD manages groundwater to ensure sustainable groundwater availability for Bastrop and Lee Counties is by monitoring water levels in wells throughout the district. The more wells we monitor, the more accurate and reliable our data is, which means we can make smarter management decisions. Monitoring water levels isn't just a box we check. It's a crucial part of ensuring we're managing our groundwater responsibly and sustainably. Monitoring water wells provides defensible and historically relevant evidence to evaluate impacts. With this data, we can determine and quantify any necessary mitigation efforts, ensuring that we are managing groundwater pumping that meets the demands of the state and local communities. By gathering this data, we can assess nature and man-made impacts, figure out what needs to be fixed, and make sure we're pumping water in a way that meets our goals. Speaking of goals, let's talk about desired future conditions, or DFCs. A DFC is a management goal set by groundwater conservation districts in Texas to define the desired state of the aquifer at a specific point in the future, typically 50 years. In simpler terms, a DFC is a long-term target that we set for our aquifers, how we want them to be in the future. These goals consider factors like groundwater availability, environmental needs, and the demands of our local communities. The DFC is a critical water management tool because it serves as a benchmark to measure the effects of pumping and other activities. By aiming to keep our aquifers within these conditions, we can make sure that our groundwater resources remain sustainable for the next generation, balancing what we use with what nature can replenish. Lost Pines GCD has a monitoring network that includes 118 water wells across different aquifers. But even with this extensive network, there still exists a need for improvements to address data gaps and enhance the representation of different aquifers. This is where you come in. If you care about the sustainable management of groundwater, and we know you do, we'd love for you to join our Well Watch program. This program lets well owners like you get your wells recorded with the district. We'll even come out and measure the water level for you. The data we collect helps us keep an eye on changes, spot any water level declines, and take action if needed to protect our aquifers from being overpumped. The Well Watch program isn't just about gathering data. It's about empowering our community to take an active role in protecting and conserving our water resources for future generations. Signing up for the Well Watch program is simple and open to anyone within the Bastrop and Lee Counties. All we need is your permission to access your property and gather data from your well, which we'll do twice a year between October and April. Want to learn more about signing up for the Well Watch program? Just give us a call at 512-360-5088. By expanding our monitoring network, the Lost Pines GCD can better understand and sustainably manage the complexities of our region's aquifers. Together, we will work towards a future where our groundwater resources continue to support our ecosystems, economy, and the Bastrop and Lee Counties for generations to come. Learn more about how you can be part of our mission at lostpineswater.org. Together, we can conserve our water for the future.